Welcome back to Get 'em Giddy Radio, a Jersey Nutz sport fishing podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cody Melton, and today we hit you with the last episode of 2021. Episode number 8 for us. We're talking end of the year shenanigans. Basically, we're going to be going over our best and worst memories of the season. We're going to introduce you guys to Ben Palumbo, one of our full-time mates for the last couple years. He's down in Florida, joining us via Zoom. You guys are going to really enjoy Ben, Taco, Captain Smokey. The four of us sit down. You guys get to know Ben a little bit, and then we do some bullshit, and we talk about some good, some bad, some fun, some ugly. Keep it real, just some lively conversation. So the last episode of 2021, we're getting ready for 2022. Hit some records. We got some fun facts for you. And we're going to do it here in 3, 2, 1.
Get 'em giddy.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Jersey Nutz Sport Fishing, New Jersey's leader in tuna overnight canyon fishing. Find out more about Jersey Nutz Sport Fishing by visiting www.jerseynutssportfishing.com or visiting them on social media on Facebook at Jersey Nutz Charters and on Instagram at Jersey Nutz Charters. Get 'em giddy.
Get 'em giddy.
Welcome back to Get 'em Giddy Radio. I'm your host, Captain Cody Melton, and to my right today we have Captain Smokey, and to my left, Captain Taco. Guys, say hi.
What's going on?
I thought you were going to introduce Ben.
Yeah.
And we're trying to build up to Ben.
Oh.
We have a special guest here today.
Blew the surprise.
He's going to be on a couple episodes with us. One of my favorite mates. I don't know where he falls in line with RJ, but Ben Palumbo. How's it going, Ben?
How's everyone doing? Good afternoon.
He's joining us via Zoom, so we're going to see how this works out.
He's a face on a bar stool that's in front of us.
In the podcast shed. How was everybody's Christmas?
Good. Very good. Mine was good. How was your guys's?
Is that what you thought about on the way here? That was all the thinking that you did?
Oh, I didn't really think too much about Christmas. It's just a holiday.
My Christmas was great. We cooked a pig.
Oh, that was for Christmas?
Mm-hmm. A whole pig.
RJ had to come out.
Still eating it.
The pig came out great.
Okay.
Actually, it was very impressive.
What's the best cut here on the pig when you do the whole pig?
I was enjoying the shoulder, the front shoulder.
The ribs had the most flavor. For sure.
You did it in a box.
Pig in a box. You put the charcoal on top of it. You ever seen that?
I saw the box in the back of your truck. But did you use flavored charcoal?
No.
No?
Lighter fluid.
Well, you
Does
could
that
get
count?
Lighter fluid flavored?
Well, you could get flavor. You get like apple.
It's good
cinnamon.
for it.
No, there's no smoke. So the charcoal is actually on top, over top of the pig, and there's a layer of sheet metal in between. It's all just radiant heat. None of the smell or the charcoal actually hits the pig.
Fancy.
It's like called a La Caja China or something like that. You put mojo sauce on it, you guys wouldn't understand. It's culture. So,
What is mojo sauce?
It's some kind of like cilantro lime.
Austin Powers.
He lost his mojo. I think
that
it's
pink thing in the canister.
I think it's actually Moho, silent J.
Yeah, moho.
Yeah. Not mojo.
It's Austin Powers sauce.
My only experience cooking pork is in a crock pot. I don't know about this moho deal, but if you got a crock pot and a pork shoulder, I can whip it up for you. I'll tell you that.
Ben, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good, man. I gotta say, this year I didn't get any coal. It seems like Santa wasn't too good to you. You got a lot of coal. You roasted a pig with it.
I didn't get anything besides that.
I had a great Christmas. Spent it with the family. It's nice we had a little snow Christmas Eve. So
Where the hell were you?
He's at home up in the mountains there.
Up in North Jersey, we had a little dusting on Christmas Eve, so it was very festive. And
It
rained all day.
snowed. Did it snow Christmas Eve here a little bit? No,
think
it was after Christmas. There was like a flurry. I don't know.
No, I thought we had some come through. Christmas Eve? No, I didn't hunt Christmas Eve. The day before Christmas Eve, we had a little flurry action.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve. It was the day before Christmas Eve, and then you got the snow when you woke up Christmas Eve morning.
Well, what if I didn't wake up to any snow on the ground down here in the plains of Jersey?
It was snowing. It was snowing on Monday when I hunted.
Maybe that's the day I was thinking.
When I went fishing on Monday, it was snowing out on the ocean.
Yeah.
Catch anything?
Did extreme bass bite?
Yeah, the extreme bass bite on the way in from togging.
The jig bite. I didn't see any tog pictures.
No.
You didn't catch nothing?
We caught a couple.
There's people waiting, literally itching for your inshore seminar talks, and you're over here not catching no togs?
Well, I saw birds. I got excited.
Oh,
RJ
man.
screwed me up now.
Blame it on me. That's easy, I guess, right?
All right, before we get too far, just a reminder out there to anyone that listens, make sure you hit us with that like and subscribe, follow, ring the notification bell. What's all the other ones we got?
You gotta smash it. Whatever you do, you gotta smash it.
Smash the thumbs up. Give us a follow. Keep that wave increasing. All right. All right. So we've obviously met Ben slightly. Ben, I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself first, and I guess we'll try to hit you with some questions. Everyone's going to think of some good questions for you.
All right. So my name's Ben. I grew up in North Jersey. Always loved fishing. Got in touch with these guys. I don't know how long ago it was now. Probably, I think 2015 was the first time we went fishing out on a charter with you guys.
Sounds about right.
And from that point on, we pretty much fished with you guys once a year for a few years. And then when I went away to college, reached out to Cody and was looking for some experience on the water, and started working as a mate, and just kind of got kidnapped and sucked into the vortex, and been killing tunas ever since.
Kidnapping. It's becoming a
vortex.
theme.
I like that.
The vortex is also a good verb or an adjective.
Yeah, thank you. But,
You make it sound bad. We're trying to recruit more mates here, so can't turn them all off. All right,
Just got sucked in. You're not allowed to leave.
The truth hurts.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave. He's still not allowed to leave, even though he's trying. We're calling him out on live air here. Anybody got any questions for him? People can learn some more about him.
Well, he was chasing an elusive buck there for a while. I want to know if he's achieved that goal since tuna season.
I did achieve that goal.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, nice
Been
big
hunting
one?
now for many years, had no success. I've seen a lot of deer, missed a lot of deer, wounded several. Finally got out there this year. Had a nice 8-point come out, 12-yard shot, and took him down. Got a bag of jerky just coincidentally right here.
Oh, buddy.
But it was a great experience, man. Matt gave me a beetle guy, buddy of his, and
Did you bring it down there?
The skull. Yeah, I went down there, man. I got the beetles done. Took about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I got a nice skull in the wall.
Always got to have a beetle guy.
Gotta have the beetle guy. Gotta know someone with beetles.
Who doesn't have a beetle guy? I have a question.
Quite the operation, I'll tell you.
Do you condition your hair every time? Or how do you get that kind of volume on the top of your head?
So
It's just like a
I don't
non-salt
do
water
conditioner.
soaked.
This is actually salt water. I went swimming in the ocean today, and this is straight out. I'm down in Florida, so this is straight out of the ocean.
Oh, you're in Florida.
I shampooed this morning.
He's already abandoned ship.
So I shampooed. This is salt water. I condition maybe once a week.
He's going with the usual saltwater regimen.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say he
Salt
hasn't.
water, yeah.
I was going to say you haven't had salt water for a little while, but I was very wrong with that.
Today was the first day I went back and got salt water on me. So,
Taco, you got any get to know Ben questions?
You still living off roast beef and your mom's lasagna, or did you upgrade the food a little bit? down there?
The only thing I ate today was a roast beef and cheese sandwich with a white American cheese with mustard. That's what I ate today.
How old was it?
I'm still living off of roast beef. It's like 3 days. It's pretty fresh.
Oh, that's real fresh. That's the fresh as it gets.
There's no green. There's no
Gotta
odor.
have green.
Good. Tell you, RJ eats the lunch meats from like they're 2 weeks old. Sometimes they're green and they're slimy, and he'll say, Ben, he's like, go down. Can you make me a roast beef sandwich? I go, yeah. So I'm looking at the meats and stuff, and then I pop my head back up. I'm like, you sure you want it? Like, it's green. He's like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's roast
At
beef.
3 days, it hasn't really aged enough.
Yeah, that's
Put a little-
too fresh. He
Put a
likes
little
the
extra
dry
mustard on it,
aged,
you'll
dry
know.
aged in the Jersey Nutz fridge.
As long as I don't look at it, like I don't have to make it, it's fine. It tastes the same. As long as I don't have to look at
I
it,
don't
it's
know.
good.
I would be nervous.
All right, well now you guys know a little bit about Ben. Ben's been with us for 2 years now, working on the boat, right? 2 years.
2 years.
And was one of our professional big eye anglers before then. Right, the first trip you caught a big eye. I was telling this story a podcast or two ago, and it was you or your dad that said your mission was to get stronger, so you didn't have to pass the rod next time, and you never did after. You never did after that. So,
Right.
we should keep you on. We should have you actually fight the fish in the tournaments. I never even thought about that. Probably do better than a lot of people.
It's hard work.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
well,
the
Matt
next.
has no interest in ever fighting a fish.
No.
Well, I think
I
the
don't
next.
even know if he's ever caught a tuna before, have you?
I don't
You reel
know.
one in?
Maybe like a 5-pounder, 10-pounder.
But he says you caught a you landed a bluefin or something, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still only like 25-pounder.
That's all right. It counts.
Caught it on a fluke rod by accident. All right. Well, the point of this episode and the idea behind it is we are doing a little bit of a 2021 review. I asked everybody here to kind of brainstorm about the best and worst moments that they might have had, tell some stories, do some bullshitting. I do have a couple record / fun trivia questions. Actually, the first one I was going to have you guys guess. How big do you think our fuel bill was for the year? Total, money wise, yeah, money
Between the boats?
total. How much money did we spend on fuel this year?
So between the boats.
I'm gonna let everybody take a guess here.
I need a second.
It's a great question.
Look another way.
You doing brain learning?
Not good at math.
Anybody?
Knows that. I can't
Anybody?
count fish.
RJ should have an idea.
I got an idea.
I'm gonna go with $128,000.
I was going to say 120.
Well, I'll go 119.
Wow, you guys. Well, Ben started it, so I'm very impressed. It was about 124,000.
Wow.
So
All right.
That was
I didn't
closest.
do any math or cheat or anything. I was
there's no way for you to
off the head
cheat.
there.
I knew he was right there. That's why I didn't stray far from it.
And you picked the starting point. It's about $124,000 in fuel we spent this year. So I just found that an interesting one. We had a record number of big eyes caught the day after tournaments this year. Captain RJ, congratulations.
Thanks.
Put that one on your belt. Record number of Mountain Dews consumed.
Oh, yeah.
Flaming Dews and Dragon Who's.
Talk. I mean, I had a couple.
We're at
I had a
least-
couple Dews.
We were at least a 12-pack a trip.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I started getting heart palpitations from it. I started freaking out.
And then record number of overnighters, which is an actual good stat to have. So we had a good year. Just a couple of the cool ones I picked out of there. The fuel bill. I don't know many people that have $120,000 fuel bill. So I guess congratulations to us. It means we're burning a lot of it.
The fuel prices really went up.
Or somebody's a little happy with throttles.
I don't think you
Be
should.
looking in a mirror.
Yeah, well, I'm going over 20 knots. I'm not allowed to do that. All right, so who wants to? We'll start off with some of the good things. All right, anyone got some good memories, a good story they want to tell us, something funny? RJ, I'm gonna bring this one up. You brought up something about the cops behind the boat early morning one day.
Oh yeah. Well, that was
Well, why don't we lead with that one then?
Okay.
Or is that a worst?
No, that was a good one. I was still wanting more of a. Anyways, we're doing a day trip, like an 18-hour trip. So we're leaving at 2 a.m. And there's 5 guys on the boat. I'm like, you guys waiting on somebody, or are we going 5? They're like, no, we're waiting on one more guy. Next thing we know, all of a sudden, like right behind the boat is a road. You know, there's a parking lot, a small parking lot, probably about 100 yards wide, and then there's the road. See it clear as day. And then all of a sudden, everything just starts lighting up with flashing blue and red lights. And we're like, what the hell is going on?
Did Taco run and grab his bags and just start running out of the parking lot?
I don't know if it's Taco. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Ben, were you there?
That was me and
No, I don't remember that.
You and J-Rock?
Yeah.
So,
J-Rock definitely went and grabbed his bags.
he was a little concerned.
Abandoned ship.
And we're like, oh man, I don't wonder if they're shutting down the road or whatever. Next thing you know, the char's like, that's our guy. That's our last guy. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell? There's literally like 5-6 cop cars. Got this one car pulled over on the side of the road.
You don't get 5 cop cars for going 5 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour over the speed
There was
limit.
lights everywhere.
The whole street was filled with cop cars. We're like, what is this guy, a fucking drug dealer?
All of Point Pleasant got called in.
Yeah. So this whole charade's going on for like 10 minutes, and then we're like, oh, we gotta fuck with these guys, because this guy's like, he yells, he's like, it's a speeding ticket. We're like, okay, whatever.
No way.
And then I forget who it was, so I had somebody pull up Bad Boys on their phone, that song Bad Boys. And so we just turned that on the, put that on the boat radio, and we just start blaring it. Well, there's like, 10 cop cars, flashing lights, all on the side of this, like one little tiny road in Point Pleasant. This poor guy pulled over with a speeding ticket right in front of the boat. We were getting all sorts of funny looks. Some of the cops were laughing. Some of the cops were a little ticked off at us.
You never know where you're going to get in the middle of the night with the cops. They're probably, I guarantee some of them were pissed.
Oh, I was waiting for somebody to come over and say something to us, but this poor guy's pulled over with a speeding ticket, and he's probably shitting his pants like, I'm just trying to go here. I can't pull over any further.
What kind of ticket did he get?
It was a speeding ticket, like a 5 mile an hour over speeding ticket. I think he missed that weird little...
What, did he not pull over right away or something? How do you get so many cop cars?
It's in the middle of, the season in Point Pleasant. These cops obviously had nothing else to do.
Well, I thought he was drinking.
Oh, sure.
We were the only people around.
Yeah, 2 in the morning, I'm sure.
It had to been like a Tuesday. It definitely was not a weekend. There was no traffic anywhere. It was just him. Just him. So I don't know.
I guess that's a good memory for you guys.
Well, we didn't get a ticket or yelled at or anything.
How was the charter, Taco? Was the guy upset the whole time, or
No, he was fine. He just got a speeding ticket.
A little embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't really remember that too much, but that was pretty funny when we were blaring it.
That is a good story.
The cops had no idea what to make of it. They were like, "What the fuck is going on? Why are these people awake?"
A couple of things happen every year that just make you smile. And that would be one of them. Never forget that one. What do you got, Taco?
Well, I just had a totally different thought come in my head. But going off RJ's with the day trip in the morning, a lot of crazy shit happens in the morning in Point Pleasant. We were doing that one day trip, and I pulled up to the boat, and there was a car parked next to the boat. I didn't think anything of it. I opened my door, and this girl in the back seat pops up with no shirt on. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. We're doing another day trip. And she pops down real quick. I'm like, oh, that was cool. I'm like, I gotta tell someone. I run the boat. Probably RJ and Ben were both sleeping. I'm waiting for them to wake up to tell them. And before I could even say anything, the car just pulled off. They thought I'm making this shit up.
Some poor dude's getting laid for the first time in the parking lot. He just ruined it.
That's a
There
good
was
one.
condoms in the parking lot
Yeah.
after that.
Ben did find
Nobody
a rubber
picked them
in
up. They were just sitting
There was a rubber in the parking lot. I remember seeing it. You just ruined some 16-year-old kid's dream.
Like, I don't think he was when I pulled into the lot, there
wonder why
was
he
no
picked-
lights on anywhere. I was like, probably 2:00 in the morning.
Pitch black, huh?
Yeah, he thought he found a little private lot. Next thing you know, the floodlights go on towards the car.
Ben was there? Oh, yeah, Ben said he found him.
Yeah, I was there, but I was sleeping at the time. Matt got lucky and
Saw the
saw the whole
titties.
thing go down. Yeah.
Ben, you got one?
Yeah, I got to say, one of my favorite things was when, Cody, you and I were down in Atlantic City before a trip, and that guy from down the dock who was all fucked up, drunk or something early in the morning, started messing with the charter.
Yeah.
And I think he came on the boat, and then he left, and then came back with a box of donuts.
I was there that trip.
Well,
Yeah,
while
you
we
were
were
there,
getting
you
ready
were
to
there.
leave on a trip, he
started.
he came on. What the hell was he telling him? He was talking about his boat, right?
Yeah, he was rambling about his boat and
How much better it
I don't
is. He was just running along. Yeah,
I
then he
think
left.
He actually left with one of the customers to show him his boat.
Oh,
We
yeah,
took
I
him
remember.
down, and then we ended up leaving the dock a little late because this whole thing was delayed because this guy had our customer, our sixth guy.
Well, we gave him the stink eye, and then he just showed back up with like these homemade donuts. And did you eat all of them? Because I refused to eat any of them. I thought he was trying to drug us.
Yeah, I thought they were laced.
I didn't eat one. I was nervous. Matt ate one.
Somebody ate them all. Was it you?
I might have had one. What's the worst case scenario?
The customers.
You're on the boat. You're not going anywhere.
The customers didn't mind him.
No, what if that's a laxative donut or something? You're out for the next 26 hours? I don't know.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That guy, yeah, he's always poking his nose around.
Well, see, we know not to talk to him, but the poor customers on the back of the boat, they're like being best buddies with the guy.
Didn't they take you to one of you guys like in the middle of the night to go see his boat?
This was the season before he took me and Dale. Me and Dale were cleaning the boat. We were having a few beers or whatever at the boat. And next thing you know, he comes over. He's talking to us. And he's like, "Oh, come show us your boat." He's like, "All right." We walk over to his boat. He gives us a beer or whatever. And then he sends us down below. And he's like, now we're down below looking at the inside. And he's just standing on the
blocking the
stairs,
stairway.
blocking the exit. And I'm thinking, I got to get the hell out of here.
There you go, boys. There's your home.
I was a little nervous.
Get in there all nice and deep like.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
He's like, Taco and Dale, huh? Got me a taco.
What am I gotta? So one of the when Squirrely, so I had not fished with Squirrely. Squirrely, one of the mates, until August, I think, and I had heard nothing but good things about him. Hardworking kid. Will do anything if you ask of him. He came down and did a trip with me on the 57, and we start getting. Well, first I made him pick where we were going to go. Ben, you were there, right? Scared the living shit out of him. He told me his buddy had caught fish at like such and such, and like literally just told him, "All right, that's where I'm going, and if we don't catch anything, like you're done." And he had never fished with me, and he was scared to death.
I don't even think you'd even met him yet.
No, I texted him, I think. Yeah, that was over text or something. I told you, I was like, I think this kid's going to shit his pants. Nice kid, though. Anyway.
Nice kid.
Nice kid.
Fucking scared the shit
Just
out of
fucking
him.
with him a little bit before I even met him. You know, he had been around, so it wasn't like a newbie to the team, just newbie to me. I always start fishing. We catch a couple fish like right away, and I just hear this loud bang. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, a big bang, like hit something bad happened. And I like start, you're up in the helm and it's like barely dusk out. We had already had a couple bites. I'm like scrambling, looking around the boat. Did we hit something? We hit a pot. I like finally look back in the cockpit and Squirrely's in the fish box. Up to his knees in fish blood and fish, and they're just slamming around, and he's struggling to get out. Like he's like crawling out and then he keeps sliding back in. And Ben's just laughing at him the whole time. I was like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
I was like, move out of the way because I got to throw a couple. I had a couple fish to throw in. And he took a step backwards and just fell right in and broke the strap that holds the door open. And his boots were full of blood. He had to take his boots off and dump them out.
So I actually think about that a lot. As minor as it was, that's something that makes me laugh quite a bit. And the fact that my dad calls them squiggly, which because squirrely and squiggly are very applicable names for him, so you can't even knock on the squiggly. But yeah, that's one of my favorite memories of the year. Actually, was I had to text RJ. I was like, we've been fishing for fucking 15 minutes, and he broke my strap and fell in the fish box.
Well, he messed them all up. Putting them on that boat has in-deck fish boxes.
Yep. There's holes in the deck. Watch out.
No holes in the deck on the 53. I don't have to worry about that shenanigans there.
Any other good ones that come to mind, guys? You have no other funny memories, Taco? You said you had something else, but the girl popped into your head.
Yeah, that was better. I don't
Titties are always better.
Well, okay. Well, see, guys, we don't have a whole lot of fun, obviously. One of my other favorite things from the season was finishing, what did we probably finish, 4 or 5 trips in a row down on the 57, and we had some weather come through, and Ben and Taco were going to have themselves a night in AC. And, I mean, you know, who knows what they did or didn't do or where they ended up.
I don't even think they know.
I'm not sure they know either, but
I don't think they have the full story.
couldn't get a hold of Matt for a while because Matt had his phone stolen by an old lady. Right? An old lady?
I don't know. About a week later, I got a message from some guy in Philadelphia. He wanted ransom money for my phone.
Trying to sell your phone back.
It's okay. I got a new one. That was a good
That
night.
was
But that wasn't really your memory. You didn't even...
No, it's still
Chickened out.
funny for me. I didn't chicken out. I chose the right decision. We were all sleep deprived. You guys went on some
I still saw the aftermath of it when I think
3 days later.
Both of you came with to be on the 53 like a day or two later.
Yeah.
After you had some recovery time, you still looked like you got beat with a fucking ugly stick that morning.
We were on the overnight routine.
Exactly. We had been staying up all night, so what was
Yeah.
another night out in Atlantic City? You know,
Yeah.
who needs to sleep?
I think I text Ben the next morning at like 6:37. I was like, "You guys alive?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm sleeping in my car." Like Taco lost his phone. I was like, "All right."
Woke up at like noon in my car. What's going on?
That was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. That was after the first.
It was
week.
not a good morning for me.
It's a good time.
Trying
Good
to get
time
a
for me.
phone.
Because I was just laughing. I've been young.
Yeah.
You know, I'm old now. No better. On the fish for a week straight and run around Atlantic City. How many different casinos did you hit that night?
We were all over the place.
I don't think they were about the casinos.
We
They,
covered the whole
well,
island.
Yeah, the
Five?
hotels.
they're
Five.
they're tearing up the boardwalk in betwixt the casinos. That's where the titties are at.
In betwixt.
They were trying to find the women's wearing. Wasn't your main goal to pick up some chicks with your extra tufts on the boardwalk?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of worked.
Kind of worked. I don't think Matt made any money that first week of fishing after that one night out in Atlantic City. I think he broke even.
Yeah.
Broke even. All right, yeah, so year in review. A lot of good memories, a lot of good times. Nobody else has any good memories. All this planning that I had you guys do.
Can it be?
Well-
Well, I know this was touched on in a previous episode, but I do. When I got the hook up through my nose.
Oh yeah, we
that
never
was
got
one
into
of-
that really though.
That was one of my favorite moments, even though it was a little painful. It was
Keep fishing.
You know, just starting to trip off, doing a little mahi fishing, and guy hooks up to like a little 1 pound mahi, swinging it over the side, and of course he reels the fish up to the top guide, and it's like flopping around, and then the fish fell off the hook or something, and he jerked the rod, and the hook went straight up in my nose and out the other side, in the nostril and then out the side. And I was like, what the fuck? And I asked him, I'm like, is there a hook in my nose? It was pretty clean when it went in. I didn't really feel much. And then Matt was looking at me what are you doing? I was like, I need scissors. Give me the scissors. I'm like attached to the rod. And then RJ's yelling at me. All this is going on. I'm still connected to the pole. And he's like, Ben, go inside and get a new reel handle and put it on the one that's squeaking. And I was like, hold on. And cut the line, stick my head up, and I go, RJ, I got a hook in my nose. He's like, you do have a hook in your nose. And then one of the customers helped me out. He was like a doctor or something, and he popped it through. He cut the barb off and slid it back out. Put a little rubbing alcohol on it. It was all good. But yeah, that was a first for me. I've never been hooked in the face. I've hooked someone in the head once, but I never been hooked in the face myself.
At least there was no fish attached. I had a treble hook go through my hand with a bluefish on the other end. That was a nightmare.
I got the tip of my finger bit off yesterday by a bluefish, surffish.
They got bluefish down there?
Yeah, I caught like 10 yesterday.
Well, that's why they're not really up here much then. They migrated.
Yeah, maybe they do a little migration across the eastern coast.
So how's your nose healed up since then? All good?
Yeah, perfectly, like a charm. It was a little sore for a couple of days, and then no hole or anything. The guys at the trip were joking the whole time that I should stick a piercing in it or something. I don't know. But
smelling's all right.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of mahi fishing, I had a guy. He had like the similar thing happen. Like I don't know who was on the boat, but anyways, the fish popped off like 10 feet from the boat, and this guy is just cranking away. And he had reeled the hook into the top eyelet of it.
There was no bait on the hook or anything.
No bait on the hook, and the hook is in the top eyelet of the rod. And this guy is still going balls to the wall. Especially once the hook hit the top of the eye, he thought he had a monster on. And this guy's just fighting himself in the corner of the boat, swinging the rod left and right, cranking. And we're trying to tell him, like, there's no fish on there. There's no fish on there. And he's just so in the zone, and he's cranking this thing. He's fighting himself. Like, the rod's, like, bent over on itself. Oh, that was a good one. That went on for, the guy probably fought himself like that for probably about 45 seconds to a minute.
No way. Taco, how'd you handle that?
I was doing other stuff. I remember just looking up at RJ, and he's like in tears laughing. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
RJ's just sipping on a Mountain Dew watching this guy fight an invisible fish.
I'm trying to explain to him, like,
so you try to explain for like 10 seconds, and then after that, you just let him go, right?
Yeah, because you realize he's not going to listen to you.
If I remember, it was a pretty good bite, so everybody was hooked up. So everybody else is fighting fish. This guy thinks he's got a fish on, too. fish flopping around everywhere.
How'd you not get this on video?
I was so confused at the time. I'm like, what?
Everyone else is fighting real fish, and he's in the corner just fighting his
drag, screaming,
fighting the rod.
He's fighting the rod, literally just sitting there cranking down. Oh, it was a blast.
That had to have been the funniest thing to ever see on a boat.
It was good. It was good.
I think it's funny when people fight like debris and stuff like that.
No,
but actually not even having a hook in the water.
Yep, not a hook in the water. That would have been
amazing. Did you see any of it, Taco?
I was there, but I don't think I really witnessed it.
What a shame. Wow.
Speaking of debris in the water, we had a great catch. Matt was with me. RJ saw this floating 55-gallon drum or something. It was like a blue drum floating in the water.
Ooh.
Got up alongside of it, gaffed it, brought it in. There's 3 Almaco jacks live swimming around in the bucket. And we were like, what the hell? Like, how did that even happen? But it was pretty cool. We kept them. Put them in the box.
Kept them as pets? Or did you kill them? Did you keep them as pets?
They were alive for a while.
Well, we kept them as pets for a little bit, and then they ran out of oxygen. And they just suffocated.
About 3 hours they lived for.
So they ride back to the dock.
I don't think they made it that far.
No.
It was a hell of a time figuring out how to get that bucket in the boat, though. I remember that. That was a good 5 minutes.
Well, you remember you had to drop a pin on the GPS, and we had to circle back for it, and we're having a hard time finding it.
Right. Yeah. I wanted that bucket. It was a good bucket.
It was. I don't know what happened to that bucket.
It's behind the shed.
I think it's in the shed.
Yeah. It's a good bucket.
Dropped a hard Yui for a polyball. You took that up to the 53, right? Was that you that was on the boat?
Yeah, it's currently in my garage.
Oh, it's in your garage.
The Kimberly.
Tell you what, the best find of the year was something that's so simple. It was just a gray 5-gallon bucket with a rusty metal handle. We found it probably in June, and it lasted all throughout the end of bass season in the cockpit as a 5-gallon bucket.
Isn't it amazing?
Recycling.
They never have enough buckets.
Like, we got all nice buckets, and that one's just always there.
Nobody ever wants to take it.
Yeah.
I'd say one of my best memories of the year would be, well, it's a combination of myself and my father running the 57, but that boat caught blue marlin on 5 trips in a row. Ben, you were there, I think, for all of them, right?
For all of them. Yeah, that was a record, right?
Definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe 2 in a row before, but like just in the same spot too. Pretty incredible. Like 5 nice blue marlin.
That was really cool. And there was one trip at the end we had 2 in the same day, which was pretty cool.
Oh, it might have been 6 then. I don't know.
I think it was 5 days, 6 fish.
I think it was 5 days, 6 blues. Yeah, you had 2 on the last one.
Yep.
So that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and
That's
of course,
not something
ironically, when we're fishing the Beach Haven tournament, we weren't in the Blue Marlin Calcutta.
We missed out on like 40 grand.
Screwed. Yeah.
Missed out on a lot of money. Both days released a really, really nice blue, and shoulda, coulda, woulda. Who thought we were better blue marlin fishermen than tuna fishermen?
Right.
I think Ben might have came back for a trip on the 53 when we got the 1 blue this year, too, right after.
Ben's the blue guy.
Yeah, we did. We broke him off right kind of at the end.
Ben's got the kind of confidence that blue marlin want a part of.
That was a big fish. You remember that one, RJ? That was a fucking monster.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. No, we did. I think we did well on that fish for the gear we were fighting it on.
Bet the first one we caught of that little string was, remember that the one guy had traveled all over the world for blue marlin, and the guy who fought it had never caught a fish before, not even a crappie.
Nothing. He first guy on the rod, never caught a fish. He's fighting this thing. He makes it about 5 minutes. Totally got tired out. And this other guy's birthday, and he just.
The other guy's like chirping the whole time. He goes like, I've been all over the world look fishing for these. And I've never caught one. And this guy's like, I've never even caught a fish. I wonder if it's big. You just see how agitated he was. He did get him off the rod and onto it, but
I didn't believe that guy. I asked him. I said, "You really never caught a fish like at all?" He said, "Nope, not a single one."
Never caught a fish. Caught a blue marlin.
First time.
Yeah, he was like, "This is cool." All right. Well, nothing else. You had another one, Taco, that you were.
Well, it was like a fishing kind of thing, a little bit. It was like a whole trip, kind of. Ben was there. I didn't even know Ben was going to be on this one, so it had a little to do with Ben. But we were fishing right before. It was right during a hurricane, pretty much, like right as the hurricane was coming up, and we went inshore.
I don't think anyone would have sent you fishing in a hurricane.
And,
I don't know that guy.
We were fishing inshore. It was one of the first trips we got to fish inshore because there was no boat traffic. Because, it was pretty rough out. And we fished all night. And if Ben remember we started going back to start fishing in the morning, and we were in the back of the boat, and the waves were coming over the back, and the fish box was... Ben was scared for his life. Ben was looking at me like, I do not want to be out there. I think he might have even said that. He was complaining the whole time. But we ended up catching a lot of fish that day.
What were you scared of, Ben? The waves?
Well, it's an uneasy feeling when you're fighting a yellowfin and it's 10 feet above the angler's head coming in on a wave.
That's an advantage.
Yeah,
they're surfing right to you.
You see them in the
We were
wave.
surfing right to us. But no, it was...
So that's a good memory. I like it.
It was a good memory, yeah. We made it back.
I think RJ was in the cockpit, too, the whole trip.
You ain't seen
After
shit.
that.
You ain't seen shit
Right?
till you end up in Long Island.
I think I did have Taco drive that trip.
Yeah. It was the roughest day of the year.
There's
It's
been
a good training day. Anybody could drive a boat when it's calm out.
That's right.
Anybody can drive a boat when it's calm out.
That's right.
There was,
That likes to keep us in the trough. Those days.
It's fucking side too.
No
every
up
time
C down C guy.
After every fish, RJ would come up soaking wet, lighting a Marlboro Red. Look like a wet dog.
You just got to tell them they're only biting in the trough.
Bullshit.
Oh, that sounded like a good one.
There's only a handful of days I can remember that we've legit fished that I've seen the fish in the waves above the boat, though. I will say that. It's probably been I don't know, 15 days that I can, 10, 15 days, something like that I remember that the swell, like when you're fighting them like down sea and then you got the waves coming up behind you, and swelling. The only handful of days I can remember that you see the fish in the waves.
I know.
Like, there he is.
A few years ago, we fished the Manasquan tournament, and it was legit on the front side of a legit hurricane, like a spinning one that's coming up the coast.
No, we fished through the first half of that hurricane.
Well,
we were in it.
Well, yeah. So the first day of the tournament started out slick calm. And by noon the second day, we were catching. I remember caught a bunch of white marlin, and they're swimming next to like eye level with me in the waves. By the time we pulled the gear in, the fucking spreader bars, you had to go up to the bridge to see where they're at because of the waves were so fucking big.
Yeah,
that was pretty wild. But that was like a legitimate hurricane. We probably should not have been out there, like as real as it gets.
That was a tournament. We didn't have any choice because it was a Manasquan tournament, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Those were the days that we had slotted, and we just kind of screwed ourselves on that. But
Made it back.
yeah,
All right, ready for some bad memories. Bad memories of 2021. Shit, nobody's got none? My worst memory, real simple, is during the Jimmy Johnson tournament, watching a big eye belly flop on the teaser and nothing else.
My worst memory is also in the Jimmy Johnson one, but it's not really that bad of a thing. Do you remember the white marlin we caught in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember me trying to get the hook out of that damn thing?
With the plastic still on it?
Yeah, well, that was another thing. So we put Cody had this new marlin lure we were going to fish. So I never saw it before. I tied it on, whatever, put it out the whole day. We ended up catching a white marlin on it. Later do we find out that putting the lures away at the end of the day, I never took the plastic wrapper off it. This is on a tournament day. But we did catch a fish on it, so it was all right, kind of. But not even
One of
that.
Joey's specials.
oh god,
Had the tube on it still.
That damn white marlin, I remember, because, you're in a tournament, you're trying to make sure you do everything a little quicker than normal and everything.
Yeah.
And we got it next to the boat, and I could not get the hook out of that thing to save my life. It was right in the top of the bill.
I think I did tell you, hurry up, Taco, you're wasting time.
I had two hands on it. I couldn't get the hook out. I ended up having someone else hold the bill for me. Still, I had three guys holding the fish, trying to get it with pliers.
When you get them through the bill,
It was the most difficult hook I ever took out in my life.
yeah,
It still haunts me.
up to the top that can be tough.
But
It was perfect.
that was too
Perfect
nice of a hook set to give to a white marlin, so we had to get it back.
Can we talk about Matt dropping back to the white marlin on that one trip? And we get a white marlin hit. Matt picks the rod up. He drops it back. Waits. RJ looks at him. He's like, Taco, did you just drop it back for a whitey? He's like, yeah. He's like, what do you think? We're in fucking Costa Rica? He's like, it's a fucking whitey. Reel it in, put a new bait on it, send it back out.
You didn't want to catch it?
I think.
You know how RJ feels about whiteys. Come on.
Well, if they come up and hang themselves, and they come up and hang themselves.
Can't be catching those trash fish when you're tuna fishing.
No, that's true. Oh, they do just cause problems. But you got to be dead. You got to be very confident, like RJ, because I'll still have us play with them and try to drop back and catch them. RJ just goes, fuck them.
If they hang themselves, they hang themselves. It's fun. We'll reel them in for whatever 30 seconds after it takes us to clear the rods, and we'll kind of whatever, be fun for the customers.
Ben, going back to those blue marlin real quick. Remember the one swatted the bait? We thought it was a white. brought it in. I told you I saw a fin in the spread.
Yep.
You brought it in, changed it, had to redo the leader and everything, sent it back out, and as soon as you put it out, the blue marlin piled on it.
Yep. It was and it was a couple of minutes in between. Like that was
Easy.
Totally out of the water. Yeah, I had to re-rig everything.
Easy, like 3 to 4 minutes. That blue just sat in the spread right where the bait was and waited for it to come back.
I don't even think I stuck the rod in the holder. I think I may have even still been holding it when he ate. It was like right away.
When he saw it again, he was fired up.
Yeah, all lit up. They're cool.
What do you got, Smokey?
Well, I thought we were telling worse stories. These all seem like good stories to me.
No, they were bad before. The big guy in the middle of the tournament piling on my teaser is not a good thing. There's a lot of hook baits out there.
I don't know. Relatively speaking, we had a pretty... I mean, this year went pretty seamless. Never really had any, like, monster fuck-ups where we got, like, piled on and everything got cut off or anything like that. Like, maybe my worst story this season would be when the customer showed up to the boat without any money. And I had...
Was that,
Well, they were way short on money.
well, they thought they were getting last year's rate. Was that those people?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But then it was like a crazy like discount. I'm like, no, and
It was
anyway,
a whole fiasco.
it was a bad.
They know better to try to get a discount out of me.
Yeah, I was like, first off, no, we don't do that. Our prices go up every year, yada yada. I'm sorry, and then we always offer at the end of the year. Anybody wants their deposit back, you get your deposit back. It's no problem. And I just knew this guy was like lying to me, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Anyways, and we ended up having an excellent trip, right? I'm pretty sure we had a really good,
I don't remember.
like really solid trip. Not a flanner,
I remember they had to scrounge up all their tip money to pay the fare, so I was a little worried coming in.
Well,
Getting tip.
And that's what also happened to it at the end is like the guy just stiffed the guys on the tip, and me and this gentleman afterwards, when it was time for them to leave, had exchanged words, and I don't think he'd be a client of ours no more. But that was a bad time for me.
Doesn't sound like a good time.
No, if we get stiff money, that's one thing. But when the guys work their ass off for you and we have a good trip, and they get the shaft, that really...
If you can't afford it, don't book it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry. It's not like we're ever going to become millionaires running charter boat, right?
No.
It just it costs what it costs. Unfortunately. So
If they had a $120,000 fuel bill, they would understand.
right. Well, the fuel's going to be the cheap part of it by the time we're done our yard bill and everything this winter too.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. That was probably my worst fishing wise this year. I mean, I think everything went pretty flawlessly. We didn't have any major catastrophes in the cockpit.
Cody and I had a major catastrophe.
We had an issue.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
Is this
Captain RJ wasn't in charge.
Is this the rod that flew over?
No, that's a different issue.
Yeah, I want to hear about the rod that flew over.
I was thinking of the rod.
Ben had a rod go over on a bass trip.
Oh,
Did he really?
Ben's good at that.
Oh, I did.
We got it back though. We got it back.
I got it
Let's
back.
say,
I
which
was fucking
rod?
around with the net or something. I was locked in trying to net the striper, and
We had like 4 stripers on.
Yeah, it was chaos, and I fucking knocked one in the rod, one of the rods in the water. The way the drift was, it was coming back towards us or something. So
It was all out bunker dunking. We had like 4 on. Ben went to lift the net out of the water with the bass in it, and just caught one of the eyelets on the rod that was sitting in the rod holder, and it just
knocked it up and out
in slow motion. Just went up and out of the rod holder. How did we get it back? I think
you got it back.
I tossed a bunker over top of it or something and kind of like caught it, and it came back halfway. It slipped off. I think one of the customers caught it something.
With one of the snagging hooks, the treble hooks. That's what he got it with, I think.
Yeah. Yep. And then one of the customers finished it, got it to the boat.
Yep. Customers are lifesavers sometimes.
These guys were dead on. That's why we went bunker dunk, because they could actually handle a rod.
I had a gaff go over. RJ was watching. He didn't.
Seen all kinds of shit
see
go
it.
over. I've never seen a 50 wide go up the center rigger and just fucking fly. It's funny now. It's funny now. Wasn't so funny
that
then.
thing went whizzing by.
It took off.
I still never heard about this until the end of the season was over. So how long did you make it without telling me we lost the 50 wide?
I didn't lose shit. I'm driving the boat.
Oh, it's the guys in the cockpit.
I don't know whose fault it was, but the drag was too high. We had caught, it's one of those things that happens when we had limited out on yellowfin. So, and we limited out in like a couple hours. So things get chaotic and stuff like that. We should have been putting a strap on it. It's the center rod that goes up in the center rigger shotgun. But the drag got set too high, sitting in the chair, and we had been catching like 25-pound yellowfin all morning, and all of a sudden we had like some real nice bites, and then they ended up being like 60-70-pound longfins, but that center rod got bit and it just went fucking flying.
Did it flew up?
The center clip never really popped, and it just kind of went.
So
It went. It when it hit, the rod came up so quick, and then by the time the center clip popped, it was already in the air, and the boat moving, and the fish going the other way, and it was just gone.
See the rod like mid-air go out the back of the boat?
Yeah, I think we actually have a video of it.
Like
honestly,
like
I had the
something-
It's on
GoPro
the
running.
GoPro.
I think I have it on the GoPro.
Like something from Looney Tunes, like the rod just facing up and down still. And just
Yeah,
going out.
legit.
Was the drag too tight or was the clip too tight?
It was both. Well, the clip has been the same clip
Both.
tightness that it had been.
Because I'm just wondering. Because you said you were blaming the. I wasn't there, but you were blaming the people down below. I mean, if the clip was a little tight, sounds like that's why.
Well, it shoots that's what I said. It went up a little bit, and then the clip popped.
Okay.
There was no clip adjusting. The clip had been the same it had always been, but with the hit and stuff like that, it just flew up. It didn't go all the way up. It wasn't like the rod tip hit the fucking
We'll have
clip.
to watch the video one day.
It wasn't like the rod tip hit the clip and then it
definitely.
popped.
Need to check out the video.
It came like 6, 10, 12 inches up out of the chair, and then it popped, and then it was just gone.
What'd the customers say?
I think they were distracted with the other fish on.
Yeah, I don't even know if anyone noticed, but it was like 2 feet from my head. You got a 50
Yeah,
watt
it went
compact.
right by Ben's head.
But it can go in 25 miles an hour. And it was like, I thought I was dreaming. It was like, you got the ocean behind you and this rod just floating.
We never even talked about it. We didn't discuss
No,
it.
we really didn't talk about it. That was
It was that bad. You guys didn't. Neither one of you said anything.
It was fucked.
You both.
There was there was nothing. Just
It would just become too heated.
the root cause of it goes back to whenever at some point it stopped getting strapped in. That's really the issue, and I don't know when that was. It's my fault for not making sure it was still done. At some point, that habit got lost.
Yep.
But that's a bad one.
We used the leash every time after that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more
Do
50.
we want to talk about the real bad one, or should we leave that unspoken?
No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
That's bad.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good conversation.
I liked watching Ben walk around with his tail between his legs for a week after.
That was fucked.
Ben
I
was
was scared shitless, man. Matt was up there with me after it all went down, and I was like, oh, yes.
sad puppy. Captain Angry really came out.
Oh, yeah. The whole fucking marina heard me. The whole entire marina was staring at me. Do you want to tell the story, Ben?
All right, I'll tell a story.
We'll just say some. We'll just say a boat hit us. A boat hit us.
Miscommunication took place.
Yep. Go ahead, Ben.
I'll tell the story because we'll look at it as a learning experience for a simple lesson.
What a positive guy.
A big issue for a simple lesson. And the lesson is look left also. But, we were pulling out of the slip. Just a regular trip. It might have even been a back-to-back, right? And I'm up on the bow. And normally, when we're going like that, we only tie up because we're only at the dock for a certain.
It wasn't a back-to-back. It was a first trip because we would never been tied up on that.
Was it a first? You're right. It was a first trip back. So we were fully tied up. We had on the port side the bow line, and then so I had been in the habit of doing just the right side, and I didn't look left. Gave the all clear. Start walking back. We pull out of the slip, and it's just the loudest crunch noise.
We weren't out of the slip.
No, we had gone 2 feet.
Put the engine in gear for a sec. A lot of horsepower.
Gunshot.
Long story short. The bow rail got ripped off. We lost the cleat or something, and it was a disaster.
It didn't take much.
It was quite the start to our 26-hour trip. I
think that was the start of like 4 or 5 trips like in a row, and that was just like I remember just fucking staring at that bow rail for 4 hours, 8 hours a day, running in and out, just like trying to find Bed's head to pop it.
For a week, we're out in the canyon in the ocean with the bow rail roped together with a bunch of knots holding the bow rail together.
Yep, so we don't lose it. That was a good time.
The worst part was
it's a learning lesson on both counts. I should have double checked, and Ben should have double checked. Yeah, caused some damage, but actually, it was a pretty. Man, I wish I remember the name of that company. I give them a shout out right now. Company that did the welding. You remember the name?
Oh, shoot, no.
Anyway, they kicked ass. So
shout out to Offshore for letting us use the slip there, right?
Yeah. If you need some welding done, call that company that did the boat. If I remember the name. Little bow rail work. They got it done a couple hours. So that was cool.
That's where Captain Angry came from.
Fuck off. If somebody didn't get mad, they'd be...
Well, Captain Anger is established well before that.
Captain Mellow. Ben knows it was warranted. It was just a shitty moment. Definitely a shitty moment of 2021.
When I was scared.
Did I like? There was the piece that one of you was just holding a piece of it, weren't you? Or I had you.
Wow.
Or
I had to walk in. I had to walk in.
Hold that the whole trip. Don't let it go.
What are you guys was holding a piece of it?
I had to bring it inside. They're like, "What's everything okay out there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine."
Well, no, I walked in first. The door was shut when all this happened, so that there was a little verbalness going around, yelling and stuff. So like the customers, they're just leaving. So after all said and done, I walk inside because I'm going to sleep now. I'm done with this. The customers, they're all looking at me with like a grin on their face. They're like, "What happened?" I'm like, no big deal. We just ripped the bow rail off." They're like, "Oh, everything's going to be all right?" I'm like, yeah. As soon as we get out there, everything will be fine. They're like, "Oh, all right, cool." I went down below. And
ran away.
I stayed out and smoked about 10 cigarettes in a row, lighting one with the one I was smoking.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the mezzanine with Ben, not saying a word, and he's just chain smoking next to me. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to Cody. And then I think you were still a little angry, so then I went down below and said, I'm going to bed since no one wants to talk.
I think I told people to give me space.
Yeah, it was not
in a really nice way.
I didn't. Yeah.
Such a nice way, probably. Like get the fuck out of here. But it was good. Yeah, it's all good now.
Yeah, you told me to leave in a nice way.
Definitely.
Looking back on it, you did. Yeah.
I think Ben had come up at some point. I did. I also told you to leave, I think.
Well, I was up there and I said, "Do you want to talk to Ben?" And you said, In a nice way to put it, you said, I never want to talk to Ben again. And then you started going off, so that's when I walked away.
I let the air clear for like a good 30, 45 minutes before I had the balls to go up there.
I think I almost want to pull up the text messages from that day and see what was sent.
I definitely
There were some good ones that Captain Angry sent me, on your ride out that day.
And it was pretty cool, though. We got out to the canyon, and I didn't know what happened between you two guys. And we put the rods out, we started catching fish, and everything was fine.
We had a really
We had a great
I
trip.
actually remember we had a really good trip, and it was such a shame because I was boiling the whole time, and we're catching fish after fish. And every time I turn back around, I see a rope hanging held on the bow rail. But I just told everyone that somebody hit us.
Sounded
Because
bad.
that has happened before. 53 got a nice ding.
Well, the next time I went back to the 53, RJ and I did an oil change, and he didn't say anything about this whole thing for like a couple hours, and then he looks at me and he winks and he goes, "Good thing this boat doesn't have any bow rail for you to rip off."
He's been waiting for the perfect time. Because that's all he was thinking about.
RJ never said anything to me for like 2 trips about it, too. And we were talking about the outriggers. And I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about. And he's like, yeah, you never know when someone might, forget to untie a rope and an outrigger flies off or something like that. It was like random as hell.
Overall, though, does anyone have any other stories to tell? I don't hear much from the 53. You guys act like nothing happens there. A lot of shit breaks there, but apparently we don't fucking tell stories about
We
it.
didn't have any shitters go down in the middle of trips, or
The 53s ran like the mafia, like keep your mouth shut.
no.
Matt, how about when that dude clogged the shitter up and woke you up on the ride in?
Yeah.
How did that go?
That was the master mate. So anyway, we had this guy on the boat, and he was a mate and this and that, and he was telling me and Ben what to do pretty much the whole trip. So we were coming in, we were sleeping. The guy wakes me up to tell me. I guess he just told me the shitter's clogged. So I got up, I looked at it. I mean, we were going like 25 knots. There was like nothing I could do, and I might have played with it for a while. I don't really remember what happened. I think I looked at it.
I pretended I was sleeping.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Ben was right below me. I know he was awake.
You came in after you messed with it for a bit. I think you came and told me, and we were like 2 hours from land or
We got to
something.
talk to the manager.
I gave it a try. It was.
We were like 2 hours from back home or something.
Yeah.
I just said
I think, and then after that, we redid the whole thing. Right?
Yeah, I think we tore apart. Yeah, we redid all the plumbing and everything, and
I took apart. What did I take apart? Remember that?
well, you took apart the whole head, and then you took apart the ledger sandbox. And
No. Remember in the
Oh,
toilet,
was that when
I
at
took
the-
apart the one thing.
You,
and I couldn't-
you disassembled the whole motor unit when you.
RJ says, "Take." I don't know.
I told him exactly what parts to take apart, and I come back from West Marine with like the parts that we needed, like the hoses and stuff. And this toilet that should be in like 4 pieces is now in like 50 pieces.
Well, I didn't know.
Completely disassembled everything.
I didn't know exactly which bolt he said to take off, and I had Squirrely there with me, and I'm like, Squirrely, you know anything about toilets?
Why would you ask Squirrel?
And he goes, actually, my dad's a plumber. I forget what we're looking for. I'm like, what, you think it's this one or this one? He's like, I think it's that bolt. And I'm like, so do I. Needless to say, I took apart the wrong bolt, and I couldn't get back together without RJ's help.
You know,
Was that the,
RJ shows back up and puts it all back together, and all's fine.
I was stressed that day.
Did that rail over to the White Marlin Open when the Gatorades were covered in shit?
Yes, that rolled over, I think.
Yeah, that was the whole project.
Oh.
Well, yeah, and then that rolls over to that day when I told him to clean out the bilge.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that 2 bilges were connected.
Yeah, well, happens.
It does.
Now I know.
Yeah, you only learn one way. Trial and error.
Toilet expert now.
But he did like like on Looney Tunes where like you take out like that one bolt and then everything just like springs apart.
Mm-hmm.
He took out that bolt.
Yeah.
Got the one.
The like electric motor I took apart. There's coils everywhere. It was bad.
It's just like boom. I'm like, oh god.
Hey, if that's the worst that happens, we're doing all right.
Yep.
Well, that's not the worst, but
Wasn't that bad.
if that's the worst you did, doing all right.
What else?
I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, is for how many trips were ran, pretty, at least from what I hear, pretty uneventful. A couple things here and there, but that's just life.
Yeah, I mean, shit breaks. If it gets used 24 hours a day for 6 months straight, like we do, something's gonna happen. But
something that happened a lot this year, that I was gonna. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. It's just funny. This year, for some reason, Friday and Saturday nights, after like 8-9 o'clock, I would get a lot of texts and phone calls for people that wanted to do charters. And I don't necessarily answer the phone like after like 10, 11. You would get like 1 a.m. I would get like 1 a.m. voicemails, call them back the next day, and a lot of them wouldn't even answer. The one dude, the one time, just goes like, "Oh yeah, dude, I can't afford that. I was just hammered last night." So I think like all these people are going out like drinking and stuff like that, and like doing the whole like we should go fishing one time, like yeah, I want to catch a tuna, like all this stuff, and then like the next day they're like, "Oh no, hell no, can't afford that." Happened a bunch this summer, and I feel like people were going back out for like the first time this summer, so definitely drinking involved. Just something that happened this year that was weird.
Well, life lesson: don't drink and make phone calls.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or text messages.
I should stay up. I'd get these guys' credit cards
I
number.
need business hours.
But then the next day they would just want it back anyway.
No
All right.
refunds.
Yeah, no refunds. Well, that's a little bit of 2021. I think we have to make sure that we have a big thank you to all of our crew that aren't here. To make it successful. Definitely all of our clients between the boats. Thank you for an awesome year. In reality, we had another record year sales-wise and clients and trips. So, continue.
I don't even know how we do that because we don't have any more days or hours that we can fish.
No, it's on the edges. It's the 3 back-to-back of backers. It's all that stuff. So it wasn't by much. We didn't overdo 2020 by much. But a step in the right direction. Ran a couple more bass trips in the fall. The weather was pretty good this fall.
It was, yes. Yep.
Overall. So got a few more of them in. The overnighters, I think we only ran like 2 or 3 more. And honestly, that was with a crappy June. But had decent weather in October, which helps. So, yeah, no complaints. Pretty badass year, and got some exciting things coming in 2022. Ready to make it another record year. You guys got anything you want to add in? Any thank you, shout outs? You want to thank your mom or dad, Taco? Ben, you want to thank the fam? Oh, thanks to Mrs. Palumbo for some ziti. I think she sent ziti, right?
With the bison.
The bison ziti. No, we didn't get the bison on the 57.
Oh, I got that.
You're right. Yeah, we had the regular. RJ gets the bison.
Yeah, Mrs. Palumbo sends the bison for RJ. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get bison. But it was still delicious. I also have to. My father runs some trips, but he's also just a huge help in the business overall. So, big thanks to Pops and RJ and I's whole family helps us a lot. So, pretty sweet year. Any last words, guys? Ask again.
Get him giddy.
If Crimpet's out there, I say a big hello to Crimpet.
Crimpet. I talked to Crimpet last week. He was upset about hockey. But oh shoot, Crimpet gave a. Let me see if I can find it real quick. A definition about the ghost.
Cody looked at me.
Oh, what was that Facebook post you guys did?
Well, because you'll find it fun because it's the opposite of yours. Crimpet gave me an exact.
Is this his words or off encyclopedia or something?
Oh, his words.
Okay.
He gave me an exact definition though. It says it must be on spinning gear.
Ooh.
It must be on spinning gear, bait, or a single trolling lure, no spreader bars. Must be inside of land. Only 10% of the fleet gets a bite each day, and it must be an over. And that's the only correct answer. You don't really know Krimpet.
Has RJ?
No, Crippet never stepped foot on the 53.
No.
I think when he did, I wasn't there, and he tried finding the automatic opening door or something.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm told.
How do we get in this?
Well, he came to drop off the squids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you brought up Krimpet,
Everything else I kind of agreed with, except for the spinning gear. The spinning gear is just silly.
And they said I kind of read it wrong to start. So basically, he's just saying no spreader bars, single trolling lures. I'm assuming that means you can troll conventionals with a single lure, bait or spinning gear. So no jigs.
Can you troll a chain?
It says pretty specifically a single lure.
Well, I kind of agree.
Ben, did you listen to the Ghost podcast?
Except for the spinning, like the casting.
He's probably in the red fishing
I haven't
podcast.
listened to him.
God, he didn't listen to it, so you wouldn't even know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
he probably needs to learn how to catch a redfish.
Anyway, shout out to Krimpet.
Any
Thanks for
good
the
YouTube
definition.
redfish videos?
We had a bunch of other people send some definitions in, and we will go over them at some point. So, peace out 2021, and we'll see you in 2022. Guys, we'll start with Ben. Can I get a get him giddy?
Get him, Giddy.
Taco?
Get him, Giddy.
Smokey?
Get him, Yeti.
And get him giddy.
Get him, Giddy.